My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. Every single week, we break down full UFC fight cards. We give you our bets, we give you our picks, and we give you our fantasy plays. So make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our content. And this video is brought to you by BETU Play to Earn. It is the world's first play-to-earn sports and esports betting game. Check it out now at betuearn.com. That's bet, the letter U, earn.com. Next up, at UFC Vegas 49, we have Alejandro Perez versus Jonathan Martinez. Jonathan Martinez is 14-4 overall, 3-2 in his last 5, coming off a solid win over an undefeated Georgian. Alejandro Perez, 22-8 overall, 3-2 in his last 5, and he's coming off a nice win over Johnny Eduardo. And Alejandro Perez has solid boxing, solid grappling, and nice speed. He throws things with power. He's happy to get sucked into a firefight. And he does have a wrestling background, but he doesn't always use it. If you break down his UFC stats, he has 5 takedowns in 12 fights, which is not a lot. That sounds like a lot. 5 takedowns. 5 in 12, that's not a lot. And a pretty solid 70% takedown defense. So he's really using his wrestling techniques to keep it standing and slug it out. So he does like to bang. He wants to stay in his feet, which is exactly where I think this fight takes place, because Jonathan Martinez also likes to strike. And Jonathan is another well-rounded guy. He's got nice technical striking, slick BJJ. He has a Muay Thai striking style with really nice kicks, and he uses those kicks to control range. On the ground, he's very slick and can absolutely snatch something up in a scramble or even set something up and catch you moving. He only has takedowns in 3 of his 8 UFC fights, but he won each one of those by stoppage. And that's because he has power. So I've mentioned this in other breakdowns before. You mix in the takedowns, all of a sudden your striking becomes more effective because people are now worried about more than one thing. If you're only shooting, they don't have to worry about your hands. If you're only striking, they don't have to worry about the grappling. When Jonathan Martinez mixes the takedowns in, his hands are really, really successful for him. And this should be a fun fight. We've got 2 grapplers who don't grapple. I do think this fight will be dictated by the grappling, though. So even though it's basically striker versus striker, even though they both have grappling backgrounds, I think that if Perez goes back to his wrestling, he should be able to take a decision, because I think he'll take down Jonathan Martinez, can ride him out. I don't think Jonathan will submit him off his back. But he's proven that he doesn't really do that. He doesn't use the wrestling for offensive takedowns. He uses it for defense. I think Jonathan Martinez is the more well-rounded fighter. He lacks power, where Perez does have actual power. But I think he's the more technical striker. He's the more technical grappler. And, you know, styles do make fights, but at a certain point, you just got to go with the better fighter. Jonathan Martinez, he's coming off in that last fight. He looked like the prospect he was supposed to be. He beat an undefeated Georgian. I think Jonathan Martinez gets it done here again and starts to live up to the hype that, you know, last year he really wasn't. What do you think while I put drops in my eyes?
I absolutely love Jonathan Martinez. That is my guy. And I think the UFC loves him as well. I think they love him as a prospect. And I think they tailor-made this fight to add to his highlight reel. I really do. I think he should absolutely dominate this fight. It's kind of a name in Perez, but I think that he can absolutely. I think he should be like the minus 300, minus 350 favorite. Perez, I do agree. If he tries to grapple, that hit really, to me, is his only path to victory. Because in his striking, he is a little flat-footed. And Jonathan Martinez is a very, very fast and dynamic and precise striker. So if you do not move your feet, if you do not have good head movement, you are going to get hit. And Perez, in one of his last fights, I don't know if he still does this. I think like 2 fights ago, his head movement was just like shoulder, like boom, 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 boom. Just literally back, with no like... It was just a tick-tock. If he does that against Jonathan Martinez, it's going to be a head kick and lights out for Perez, and that's going to happen very, very early. The only thing I worry about Jonathan Martinez is he can get a little showboaty. And against David Grant, he kind of was hands low, trying to play it off cool to get those kind of highlight knockout, and got knocked out himself. Maybe he does this fight and gets caught by Perez, because Perez does have a little bit of power behind those hands. But I think this is Jonathan Martinez play all the way. What was his DraftKings? $8,800, something like that. He's definitely going to be in my lineup. I think he dominates this fight. Minus 235. I might even try to play that with a money line bet. So I like Jonathan Martinez all the way in this fight. But Perez, if he uses grappling, he could sneak this one out.
Yeah, well, and he has the actual power. If he's got the one punch knockout power as well. So he could fake some shots, come over the top. Jonathan Martinez could do the same as well. So I think it's a fun fight. I'm actually surprised that Jonathan Martinez is as wide of a favorite. I think he wins. He's my pick. He's your pick. I think he's closer to a minus 150 than he is to a minus 235.
Should be minus 300.
Yeah, I think it's a bit much, but I do like him. DraftKings is
I forgot to mention too. Perez is kind of funny. He won his last fight and then called out Sean O'Malley. It's like, who are you? Sean O'Malley's probably like, who the hell is that guy?
Yeah, it's a little too soon. Especially both these guys had sort of rocky middles, and right when they're just about to hit their own rhythm, the UFC's like, put them together. So one of them falls right back down. Anyway, two fun guys. They're going to go at it. I do like, 88's so high on Jonathan Martinez. I think I like more less here. What do you think in the Monkey Knife Fight strike line?
I think this could be a very quick finish for Martinez. I think more or less is probably a little bit safer, but I might play less on it.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, it's certainly
I don't know if he's going to be able to
possible.
touch Jonathan. I just don't know if he's going to touch him.
You're that far on that side. That's crazy.
Yeah, listen, I am biased because I do love Jonathan Martinez. So,
yeah, well, I think it's a much closer fight. I do think Jonathan Martinez wins, and I think he's just the better fighter. So I think he's going to win minutes. He'll win an exchange. I don't think he's going to steamroll. I think he'll just be a little bit ahead in all the exchanges and take the fight. And speaking ahead, you want to be ahead $50? Go to weonpicks.com/bets. Sign up with any one of our 5 betting partners. Make a deposit. Let me know. I send you $50. Literally $50 from us to you as a thank you.